seats. Bring it to your next football tailgate.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions, take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Whether you're refinancing or buying your first home, mortgages are easier with help from a neighbor. At Vision Credit Union, you get face-to-face guidance from local lenders who know the market because, well, they live here too. They'll look at your whole financial picture with practical advice for payments, renewals, refinancing, and what makes sense long-term. Get a more neighborly mortgage. Contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca.
If you're passionate about golf, you're in for a golfer's dream. At the Quarry, challenge and natural beauty come together across 27 holes every golfer should experience. Book now. Get geared up at the Pro Shop and start swinging at the Quarry. Don't forget the Granite Grill Restaurant, an unforgettable top-tier venue to host all your events. For rental details or to book your tee time, contact the Quarry today. Edmonton's most popular golf and event venue. Call 477-THE-Q and visit thequarryedmonton.com.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, the NHL semifinals are over, under, sideways, down. The Oilers might be hornswoggled getting Bruce Cassidy, and we are hours away from Elks football. The Jays are starting to find traction on the mound, and things are looking good. It's looking like summer. It's warm this morning. Maybe we'll get a really good number in the mid to late 20s later on today. The Lowdown is brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Huge May savings on new 2026 Sierra 1500 pickups and all remaining 2025 Terrain SUVs. WolfGMCBuick.com. As you know, Lowdown with Lowetide, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. We're on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Our headliner of the day, Steve Lansky, Inside the Truck podcast. He will be available to us at 1 o'clock today, and we will riddle him with hard-hitting questions and expect some real answers. We're also live on sports1440.ca, iHeartRadio, and Radio Player Canada. And after the show, we're on Apple and Spotify podcasts, and we do tweet it out on X. We're on Twitter at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, at JFenwick04. And the best way to reach us is text 833-401-1440. That's 833-401-1440. Cornucopia of sports things to discuss on the way, but we begin with the introductions. If his life were a television show, it would be Malcolm in the Middle. He's a talented guy, but arrived in broadcasting just after a watershed of Declan Krueger's. So he's got to wait a little bit, and he's Malcolm in the Middle. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody.
Malcolm, also a genius in that show, let's not forget.
I think that's one of the best shows ever. I really do.
Wholeheartedly, I've never seen it all the way through.
Oh, really?
I've seen episodes here and there, and then also it's really big on posting clips on TikTok right now, so I've seen a bunch of that stuff, but end to end, I have not seen it.
The mom is the coolest. She just is. If his life were a television show, it would be Love Island. Beautiful people everywhere. Massive television screens for basketball and college football. Fantastic food 24/7. Everybody looks good. Mr. Love Island. It's Declan Krueger, everybody. Man. Declan Krueger.
You know what's crazy? I was biting my tongue so hard when you were talking about Malcolm in the Middle because that is my second favorite show.
Oh,
ever.
Really? Oh, cool.
Oh, I love that show so much.
Too.
Seen it multiple times through. We could do 2 hours on Malcolm in the Middle, and I would not get upset there were no sports mentioned. I like the Love Island mention.
Sure.
But I love love Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle, the best scene ever was
The
Mom.
clown scene?
No, Mom was at the batting cage.
Yes.
And she was so mad because they had screwed up everything. The boys were being idiots and her husband was being a dolt. And she listed all the things that they needed to change before she was going to come home. And he says, well, we can't do any of that. But we love you and we count on you and you are everything to us. And we'll do exactly what you say until we don't. And then she went home. It was
unbelievable scene. And what's funny about that scene is that scene preceded the clown fight that I was talking about.
You're kidding?
Yes,
Really?
it was
Okay.
because the clown, like he says, like somewhat. It's a great scene. It's a great.
It really is. It's a brilliant television show. I love it to death. And I wasn't the only one who thought of it for Josh. I did check around because I thought it might be a too old a reference, but you young people get it. And so I felt pretty comfortable going ahead with it. All right. I'm not going to talk a lot about my misery and Sam Pollock and how he ruined my life, but the Canadians are up 1 cob on the Carolina Hurricanes. And look, they played well. They gave up a goal early, but they just shut everything down. They got the fierce hard forecheck is like the fierce bad rabbit in the books, and they overcame it. They were able to get Edmonton tried against Florida, couldn't get it done. Carolina, they did everything they could. Montreal beat that. Now it's like a game of chess. Now Carolina's going to come back. They were rusty. I think the goaltender was a little bit rusty, but I think Carolina wins game 2. I think it's going to be a long series. I still think Carolina wins it. Have either of you gentlemen changed your mind about who's going to win this series based on game 1 in the Eastern Conference Final?
Well, I'm not going to say I've changed my mind, but like Montreal, did they put everyone else on notice? Like I kind of talked about their ability to come out and hit you in the mouth and play hard. Not only did they do that, like they, regardless of what happens in the series, and I do still think it'll probably be a Carolina win, like nothing about this is going to be easy. Nothing about playing against this Montreal team is easy. Like look at Tampa and Buffalo. Look at the season those two teams had in the Atlantic Division. And Montreal, granted, they didn't do it easily, but they got those two teams out of there. Like they come out hard, fast, aggressive. They're young. They're edgy. Like they are. Like, I think there's also kind of a degree of we've maybe thought Montreal, like, hey, this is a cool story, but it's a little fool's gold. They feel very for real.
And they are mobile and they pass the puck and take a pass brilliantly. Josh, your thoughts on that? Have you changed your mind? Because you were the one yesterday who said, hey, listen, I'm picking Carolina, but I would not be surprised if Montreal won this series.
Yeah, no, I'm still not changing my mind. Like I still think Carolina will win. If there's 3 certainties in life, it's death, taxes, and Carolina dropping the first game of the Eastern Conference Finals.
It's also Carolina losing the Eastern Conference Finals, to be fair.
It's true, but I don't know. I just think they've been such a wagon through those first 2 rounds. But I think that was very much a rest versus rust game. Not trying to take anything away from the Habs because obviously they played incredible. But you know. Game 1, I don't really want to overreact because the Canes did have 12 days off and the Habs were literally playing on Monday night. So, like, I think game 2 will be more of a deciding factor in how this series is going to go. But if Montreal can keep it up,
it's going to be crazy. I still like Tulsky's a brilliant GM. Dello's a brilliant AGM. And my friend Dennis King he works there now too. So they have so much brain power. I think they'll overcome this, but I do think they're going to win in 6, and Colorado also wins in 6. Are we agreeing on that? Is anybody disagreeing with what I'm saying?
I just want to say 7 just for the storyline now.
Okay. All right. So you've altered your previous view.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair. In the Western semis, Cale Makar out for game 2. Mark Stone out. I saw that as well. I think this is I won't say a must win for Colorado or Carolina in their game 2, but you do not want to go down 2-0 and then head out. I think that Colorado is in tough if they continue to get goaltending like they got Vegas does, and that may be the story of the series, and we'll see. It's early on in this series. Are you feeling any different about Colorado in this 7-gamer against Vegas?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little different. I mean, obviously, Cale Makar is a top 5 player in the National Hockey League.
I think that's fair. Maybe even top
4.
Yeah, 3.
Well, hey, you guys are getting a little generous.
But at least top 5. I think.
But
we can
he's
all
also
agree.
very unique.
is very, very unique. But I think we could all agree consensus top 5 player in the league.
Okay. Do we want to do the list again?
No, we don't need to do the list again. But I was just like trying to make sure.
Though.
I was just trying to make sure.
List fan.
Well, we're doing a list later
Best
today.
cheese.
Well, that's not the list we're doing.
Okay.
But
Alderson aged cheddar.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Gouda.
Goodyear.
Jameson.
Why are we naming off cheeses right now? I think ever so slightly. I mean, obviously they have the center depth to go up with anybody. I mean, they have centers playing at wing on their 4th line and first line and everything. But
I meant Balderson.
But I would say that my stance on them has changed more in like how Vegas plays the game and how they sort of were able to slow Colorado down in that first game. Again, this is probably a rest versus rust argument, even though like the Knights did get a little more rest than the Habs did on the Eastern side.
Mm-hmm.
But, maybe it's they've just had it too easy all year, the Avs, and this is a little different test.
Well, they're a different team in Vegas too. They fired the coach.
They did.
They're different now. They got goaltending,
and Mitch Marner's the best playoff performer in the league.
I mean, Toronto fans must be going nuts. Montreal could make the final, and Marner could be against them. Either Marner or the Habs might be lifting the Stanley, and Toronto Maple Leafs fans are can look forward to the draft.
If that's what happened, well, they have the first overall pick. I think they're very much looking forward to the draft. But I was texting with somebody who was like, "Oh yeah, like if the Knights win." And Marner wins Conn Smythe, I will laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. And then on top of that, if the Knights win, the Flames get a first-round pick. Their conditional second from the Rasmus Anderson trade turns into a first. So there's a little extra zhuzh in there. But honestly, I think number 1 would be his first year out of Toronto.
There you go.
Mitchie is raising a cup.
All right. Vegas Golden Knights could conceivably give permission to teams not in the Pacific Division. LA and Edmonton are interested in Bruce Cassidy. Wrote an article on the top 5 candidates that I believe should be considered by the Edmonton Oilers. As far as I know, they haven't interviewed any of them. But having said that, I think that you if you are Stan Bowman, you don't want to miss on this, and you want to go get Bruce Cassidy. We do know that the team is interested in Craig Berube. And I just think there's a long distance between Craig Berube and, say, Peter Laviolette and, of course, Bruce Cassidy. So you aim for number 1. May not be able to get him, which sucks, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Oilers have had a chance to get a quality head coach in the past, a veteran head coach, and they haven't done it. And this appeared to be, under Stan Bowman, a wrinkle that Peter Chiarelli used, but Ken Holland eschewed, honestly. He didn't. He went and got, unproven folks. We'll see how it goes, but I'll be interested in seeing how this follows. I think you might want to make peace with the idea that the Edmonton Oilers aren't going to get the top option, that Cassidy may end up going somewhere else. Would you be okay? I'll start with you, Declan. Would you be okay with Craig Berube as the next coach of the Edmonton Oilers?
I wouldn't love it, but I would accept it.
I would have a very hard time myself. I just think he's not imaginative, and he's got very creative players. And that was part of the problem in Toronto. And we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, he could come here and just be lights out brilliant, but for me, it's a more risky move than Stan Bowman. He might only get to hire one coach. And I know everybody knows everybody else in the hockey industry, but I think Stan Bowman needs to get somebody who can think along with the players that he's coaching offensively. And I don't know that Craig Berube has proven that, that he's that guy. We'll see. What do you think? Are you back on Sutter still?
I mean, Sutter would be funny. I would, again, another thing I would laugh and laugh and laugh about. But Berube is probably the second best option behind Cassidy. Probably. Like,
man, how quickly this has turned into the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh,
you've got Cassidy, who's like a perfect fit, and now you're talking about Berube, who's coming off a disastrous season in Toronto, which is perfect because they've been hiring Toronto.
Didn't the Leafs have more points than the Oilers for like 3/4 of the season? Like until Matthews went down, basically.
They hired Alice Aikens out of the Toronto organization, and now they're hiring Berube.
Well, maybe. I don't even think we have confirmation if he interviewed yet or not.
No,
I know they got
I don't think we
permission,
have,
but I haven't heard anything about him interviewing.
I read somewhere that they've had at least a phone conversation, but it's going to be fog of war right now, right? They're not going to tell anybody what they're doing.
No.
Well, Frank might find out, but they won't tell him.
Well, it wouldn't be the Oilers. It would be Berube's camp, probably. Or the Golden Knights.
All right. Elks play this weekend. Declan, you're absolutely pumped. You're looking forward to it. How do you feel about this football team going into, it's preseason, but it's a big game. They want to put their best foot forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel very confident with the team. We had a great full season preview on Elks Nation this morning, on Elks Central, on Elks Nation, I should say. It's going to be a mix of veterans and rookies, second teamers that are going to be getting looks this weekend. Like Cody Fajardo is going to be starting at quarterback. You're going to see Austin Mack, Joe Robustelli, Zach Mathis, OJ Hilaire, like first team wide receivers out there. No Justin Rankin, no Terrell Ford, no JJ Ross. So like I said, it's a mix of kind of a veteran presence and some guys who are trying to cut their teeth a little bit. Obviously, duties are going to be split. I'm just excited for CFL football to be back. I have really high expectations for this Elks team, higher than most people, I think, because I cover the team a lot closer, but very excited to see it.
Do you think that Fajardo is in because he's not been sharp so far?
Yeah, I think part of it is this team really wants to get off to a hot start. I think they kind of need to. I think slow starts have obviously killed. Like overall, they haven't been great in the past couple of seasons, but slow starts have killed them. And this team, week 1, they play on the road in Ottawa. That's a game you should win. Then you have a week 2 bye, and then you don't have your home opener until week 3. So I think if this team goes into that Ottawa game and loses, that sets a terrible precedent for obviously a bye week and then the home opener against a tough Montreal team. Yeah. I think they need to go in with chemistry. They need to go in with their legs under them. They need to go in with some, sense of fluidity that I think you need and you get with preseason reps.
So this weekend is like the chemistry starter set we all got as kids.
I think, big part of it for sure.
Okay. All right. Good for that. Toronto Blue Jays, they're looking better, folks. They are. Trust me on this. The pitching is coming around. They've got 3 starters who look good. Gosman, Yasavich lately, and Dylan Cease had a little bit of wobble this week, but he's pitching well. Sometimes the bases on balls get away from him. Hoffman got a save this week. I'm liking what this team is doing. They got a Rule 5 kid who pitched really well yesterday. Tampa Bay is way ahead, but not out of sight. I think this team could correct here and be a story as we roll through summer. And I know it was such a great story 1 year ago. We can't take a break unless we talk about the New York Knicks. Hello.
You know what's crazy? They were actually looking like they were going to pull a game 1 Cleveland for a little bit in that game. Like Cleveland was starting to look like they cut the 18-point lead to 9. They had some offensive chemistry. Harden was getting to the basket a little bit. Obviously, the Knicks pulled away, ended up winning the game. They're just, this is one of the ones to me, and like Josh, obviously we'll get your thoughts on it. But the Cavs are just as talented as they are. They're a step behind this Knicks team. I think that's just kind of what it comes down to. Like, can they still win the series? Yeah, they probably can. Would I pick them to? Absolutely not. Like I just think now I've seen 2 games where even when Cleveland starts to hit the throttle a little bit, New York is already in that gear that they need to be a step ahead of them.
I concur. Ditto. Bad radio on my part, but
first time
Argue
ever.
with me a little bit.
No, I can't. Like the Knicks are just better. And that I was sort of trying to give Cleveland some benefit of the doubt here. Maybe. But I just don't think I can.
But okay, and we'll caveat this and then we'll take a quick scoot break, but we want to talk about declinations. But even if they win, and have a few days off, they've got no chance against the winner out of the West.
No,
No, this is what you've been saying.
Yeah, I know. I've changed my tune a little. I'll tell you why.
It's a tune change.
Because
this is the live version of the last one.
This is kind of what we talk about when we talk about like the Oilers' potential in the Western Conference Finals, because the Central is going to cannibalize themselves and the Oilers are going to have a bit of an easier path. Obviously, none of that played out this year. But my thing is like that OKC.
That's a good analogy.
That OKC San Antonio series is going to be like the highest level of basketball you get. And the Knicks are presumably going to be a little fresher, and they are a good team. So you're going to get like one wounded and semi down and out team with tired legs coming into a pretty fresh and pretty good Knicks team. And I would still pick the winner out of the West, but I think that's why that Knicks team has a chance.
I really like the way you explained that. It makes a lot more sense than you just being wishy-washy, which I never believed. I never did believe that. All right, what's coming up on Declinations at 12:40?
I'll answer this one because it was actually my idea. Deck texted me, said, what do you want to do for Declinations today? So today we're doing the top 5 7-game series this century.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
There was an in or out topic earlier this week that got me thinking about a lot of 7-game series just across sports.
If you pick the Oilers 7-game series, there's going to be people texting.
I might have put that on my first draft of the list, quite frankly. It wasn't number 1, but like I might have had that on there in the first draft.
They won 5 of 6 Stanleys last century, and they're 0 for 3, and 2 of them went to Game 7.
Correct.
Wow.
And that hurts even to hear.
You know,
I know it's true, but I don't like hearing it.
I'll just say that Game 7, if you lose Game 7, you'd rather miss the playoffs. That's how bad it is. It hurts so bad. I still hurt for that 06 team. I don't, because I don't want to have a restraining order, but every time I see Fernando Pisani, and it happens to be more often than you'd think because we live in the same community and he's at one particular place quite often that I go to. I want to give him a hug, but I don't want to because, it's been a long time since it, 21 years, and I don't want to have the police, chase me down. But that was a tough one. That was a tough one for the whole organization. In a lot of ways, I don't think they recovered for several years, at least a decade until McDavid got here. All right. Steve Lansky is on the way. We have rumors straight ahead. We have declinations at 12:40. The best Game 7s of this century, all straight ahead. And then, of course, we're going to have lots of fun with your comments as well. It's all straight ahead coming up. Lowdown with Lowetide, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
May brings more of what you're looking for at Wolf GMC Buick. The selection, never better. The savings up to $12,000 when you combine cash discounts on your new 2026 Sierra 1500 pickup. Up to $1,750 in cash rebates on remaining 2025 Terrain SUVs. Plus 0% financing up to 72 months on most models. And ask about the truck trade-in bonus of up to $1,500 on select new in-stock Sierra 1500s.
Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Shulman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power? But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Millions and millions of Canadians do not have a doctor. We have a crisis. Canada's Medical Clinic is opening clinics across Canada to allow everyone to have a doctor to call their own. Early detection saves lives. We've got some great news. You can call now and book an appointment with your new doctor. Canada'sMedicalClinic.com. And more good news. Canada's Medical Clinic Windermere is also now a walk-in clinic. We'll see you there.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
For many families, the stress of divorce can throw your life out of balance. The loss of a relationship, ongoing conflict, mounting legal bills, and uncertainty about the future can feel overwhelming. Hi, I'm Corey Anderson with Fairway Divorce Solutions. At Fairway, our team helps you restore balance through mediation, negotiation, and a unique step-by-step process. With 2 offices in Edmonton dedicated to serving your needs, our goal is simple: to help you navigate a path back to peace and clarity. Visit us today at Fairway Divorce.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
So,
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. A slight alteration of the schedule, as Steve Lansky has double booked himself for 1 o'clock. Busy man, we understand that. So we'll do rumors at 1. And right now we're going to do the headliner of the day, brought to you by Faber. Cash Flow Crunch got your business on the sidelines. Schedule your free consultation with Faber's licensed insolvency trustees and get back in the game. Visit faber.ca, Faber.ca. All right, we are now joined by our friend Steve Lansky, who has double parked and double booked. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am so well. All right, so the Stan Bowman ruined my childhood, and now the ghost of Stan Bowman is going to ruin my adultery here. I just wonder why the Montreal Canadiens are doing this to me, Steve.
Why they're overachieving, or whether they've got people there who know what the hell they're doing?
Well, they seem to know what they're doing. They did the rebuild way better than Edmonton did after McDavid was drafted.
You know, I think that there's a lot of things at play in Edmonton, and I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but I think there's a lot of listening to outside voices when you're with the Oilers, and you shouldn't be listening. And I think in Montreal, they probably don't give a rat's rear end about the outside voices.
Yeah, there's, it's funny because the rumor mill is churning, and Craig Berube has gone apparently close to the top of the list of possible coaches here in Edmonton. And whenever the Oilers get involved with Toronto, and a coach, Dallas Aikens came out of the Toronto organization, it was recommended by whomever. I think that I mean, Stan Bowman must know Craig Berube, but I would like due diligence, and I'd like a hard target search, because Berube is coming off a pretty bad season in Toronto, Steve.
Dude, you've already done your due diligence. You already know the answer. 10-foot pole, dude. Not touching with a 10-foot pole. And here is something that you're going to be able to talk about for the rest of the day. I'm not 100% certain that this group of players in Edmonton isn't uncoachable, because I think it's very possible that this current configuration is uncoachable. And I'm talking Toe Blake, Jack Adams, Hap Day, Glenn Sather, Al Arbor. God, I'm trying to name them all. I think we're Scotty Bowman, Bob Johnson. I think we're right there, dude.
So does it matter who they hire?
That's my point. I don't think it's going to change one DD thing. Not one thing. I don't think you couldn't pay me enough to step in there and say, oh yeah, I can coach this group. No, you can't, dude. I think it's it's unsavable from a coaching standpoint.
And we know, Steve, because there's 2-year contract that begins this year for Connor McDavid, and the expectation is that the team will be better. But I think that it's fair to say, and I've said this in the past, that we may have already seen the peak McDavid years in Edmonton. 2 trips to the final. Not every team wins the Stanley Cup. Not every really good team wins the Stanley Cup. The early 70s Rangers didn't. The early 70s Blackhawks didn't. The early 80s Minnesota North Stars didn't. It doesn't happen for every team. And that may well be the legacy we're looking at here.
You name the number of NHL skaters that get better after 30. Goaltenders, different. Tim Thomas won the Stanley Cup in the best year he ever had, and I think he was 157. So goaltenders, different, because they learned to figure out the game. Skaters, I can think of one dude, and he wore 99, and I remember thinking in his 3rd year in the NHL, I wonder if he's going to have peaked at like 21 or 22, and I'll be damned if he didn't. But everybody else, 27, 28, that 26, that's it, man. That's the window.
You know, in terms of peak performance offensively, some of the estimates, from the math people, from the nerds like me, although I'm not a math person on a level who could write an article like that, is even early, like 25 to 27, as opposed to 27 to 29. And so we may be well past the McDavid-Leon peak by next year.
Listen, there are anomalies. They'd have to both be anomalies then to both peak past 30. But I'm telling you, I just can't name many that aren't. I mean, I get if you said, what did you say, 24 to 27, something like that?
Yep.
I mean, you're coming in at 24. The only guy I can, if you said to me, Wayne's the only one that I can think of, and I've watched a lot of hockey. He's the only one to me that peaked well before 24 years old, kept it for a while, and then, man, I mean, he hit the tank when he was like, boom, he was just done. Like, he ended so fast for me. So, I mean, I think there was probably a bit of a burnout factor there that nobody ever talks about, but I think that 97 and 29 are going to peak after 30 is pretty damn rich and pretty damn hopeful.
You know, I always resented Peter Pocklington for the moving of Wayne Gretzky, but looking back, it wasn't. Maybe it was a year too early, Steve, but maybe it wasn't.
Yeah. If you and I were sitting around a table and having the debate, I could be talked into both. But when I went up, so I'm older now, so are you. When I look back, I didn't like it. I still don't like it, but I sure as hell understand why you got to do it. And I've told you before, to those guys, to owners, to general managers that are the best at their job, players are nothing but a body filling a jersey or a commodity or a chess piece or whatever word you want to use. And I don't care whether you're Wayne Gretzky or Rick Chartreux or, Brian Baltimore. I'm trying to pick all the old Oilers. Don Ashby. They're nothing but chess pieces. Paul Popiel. They're nothing but chess pieces on a board to these elite general managers. Scotty Bowman, I'm telling you right now, those guys were. Jacques Lemaire was nothing but a chess piece. Steve Shuck was nothing but a chess piece to those guys.
Oh man! Well, to those guys, they had 3 guys as good down on the farm. I mean, come on, Yeah.
And that's the thing. We're going to move, and it's funny because I would talk to Glenn, and the term he would use all the time was the player. He wouldn't say McSorley or what. He'd say the player. I need to move the player, and like they wouldn't even give him names. It's almost like don't name the lamb that you're going to eat next week for dinner. So he would just call him the player. And it's funny because when you're younger and you hear that, it's like, what the hell is that guy talking about? Well, I know what he's talking about now.
Yeah.
They're just pieces on a board.
I wrote a story years ago, just a memory riff about that early Oilers team. And I mentioned Ryan Baltimore and the player that he was. And I got something back from a buddy of mine who knew Brian Baltimore, and he said he read the piece and he liked it. And I said, "Oh, what's he doing? He's a lawyer."
I'm not surprised because he wasn't a great hockey player. Oh dear! Please don't be listening. Please don't be listening.
Well, it is.
Listen, I tried to pull all the old names out I could, dude.
It's a litigious society, Steve. If he calls, I'm giving him your number.
Well, that's good. That's better than you did to Declan today.
Yeah.
That's why I came on late.
And by the way, do you know that I said Steve's on today by phone, and I started giving the number, and then he rattled it all off, and yet you still don't follow him on Twitter.
There you go. There you go.
I love it. Okay. And you know what? It is totally my fault. I forgot you were on at 12:20 today. I am just the worst memory.
Well, I wasn't. I was on at 12:24, but it's fine. Nobody's counting.
What movie are you seeing today?
Oh, The Mandalorian and Grogu, of course.
Oh, wow.
You got to go right when it opens. And see, the thing is, when you buy the tickets 3 weeks ago, you got to buy the matinee not because you're old, you don't know who's playing tonight.
Right.
3 weeks ago.
Right. I got it.
You just got it. And God bless, my better half. She's like, yeah, no problem. I get it.
You know she's a saint, right?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
You bet. She's in buying the treats right now. I'm just going to go flying in. It's going to be handed to me.
You are a lucky man. You truly are.
I know that, dude.
Yeah.
And she never puts me on at 12:24. I'm on right at 12:20, and she says you're coming on at 12:20.
Yeah. So what do you think of these series? They're bass backwards right now. I mean, Vegas and Montreal are up, or are they bass backwards?
Yeah, man, you took my lead word. I'm not sure they are, because I'll tell you what, Carolina, Ottawa, and Philly. First of all, Philly's dead after beating Pittsburgh. Dan Vladar is not going to play the same against Carolina that he did against Pittsburgh. And Ottawa's not that good. So you convinced me that Carolina is a great team at 8-0. I'm not buying. And I'm also not buying that Colorado didn't skate past LA, and Minnesota wasn't nearly, they had a terrible, what was that one game? 9-7, 9-6, some damn thing like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure either Colorado or Carolina has been tested at all. And I think it was Brenda Moore's quote yesterday. You tell me if I'm wrong. We weren't ready for the pace.
Yeah.
Well, dude, what the hell were you watching for the last 11 days? Like, were you not watching Buffalo, Montreal? Were you not paying attention? Not ready for the pace. I wouldn't have said that out loud. That's embarrassing.
I had my childhood ruined by Sam Pollock. Am I going to have to gird my loins here for the same kind of situation where it's been 400 years since Canada won, and it's Montreal that wins the Stanley?
You might be worshiping Ken Hughes and Marty St. Louis. Yes, you absolutely. Listen, I'm telling you, at this point, and the way they played yesterday, and there were some gaps where I didn't think they were, rock solid, but, you're up 4-1, you start thinking. But I'm telling you, if you said it's Vegas, Montreal in the Stanley Cup final, at this point, I'm totally buying that. You can take all my chips right now. I'm 100% there.
Man, good stuff. And then the Vegas, come on now. They got the goaltending, and they changed out coaches, and they are a team that believes for sure, right?
I liked what Tort said. He said, I just shut up now. I don't need to talk. I just shut up. And this is a funny thing about some coaches. It's just the presence. If we have a problem, we're going to go to Dad. Otherwise, Dad's going to shut up, and we're just going to go out and kick ass. And that's what I see. And if they don't get Makar back, I think their goaltending is a bit of an apparition in Colorado. That's just me. So that wouldn't surprise me, not one bit.
Man, this is a wild semifinals. This really is crazy. Hey, go enjoy your movie, and thanks so much for coming on early.
My pleasure, sir. Have a great weekend.
There you go. Steve Lansky, as always, an absolute thrill ride. I know that a lot of you will talk about the comments that you've sent in starting at 1 o'clock in regard to the McDavid era and the coach they're about to hire. Early. We bring him in for his opinion, and he has a strong opinion, and he's been watching hockey since before most of the folks listening were born. So he has made his conclusions, and that Gretzky comment, I agree with him, but a lot of folks my age would not have said that out of reverence for Gretzky, who was like the all-time best player ever, but he was right. Okay, on the way, it's declinations, and we're talking top game sevens of this century. There is a lot to choose from, Each of these young gentlemen, Declan and Josh, are going to give us their answers in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Lowdown with Lowetide, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Hear that? That's your entry calling. Go Auto is sending you to the biggest football event in the world, live in Vancouver, with tickets, flights, and a hotel stay for 2. To enter the contest, just text GAME to 780-777-7777. That's GAME to 780 all sevens. Go Auto, get in the game.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shacopedic memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care. They may be teeny tiny, but chinch bugs can completely devastate your lawn or garden. If you have yellowing grass that doesn't improve with watering, you may already have them. At Green Drop, we'll identify them, treat them, and help you recover from the damage before it's out of control. Stop chinch bugs cold with Green Drop Lawn Care, Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Find out more and get started at greendrop.com.
Your next great family adventure is just a raffle ticket away. Enter the Alberta Foster and Kinship Association's Great Family Adventure Raffle for your chance to win incredible prizes, including the first prize, a Sea-Doo pontoon cruise boat worth over $70,000. Every ticket sold helps provide vital resources to the everyday heroes raising children through some of life's hardest circumstances. Buy your tickets before the live draw on June 5th. Get yours at rafflebox.ca/raffle/the Great Family Adventure Raffle. License number 766115. Open to Alberta residents 18 plus only.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit sports encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Huge May savings at wolfgmcbuick.com. As you know, every Friday, we have Declinations. We move it up 1 hour to 1240 because it's the original. And Declinations is brought to you by Fairway Divorce Solutions, the clear road to a new life. There is a better way, fairwaydivorce.com. And here we go. Gentlemen, I'm looking forward to this.
You want to start? You want to start us off?
Sure. Yeah, I'll start us off. So we're doing top 5 7-game centuries of this century.
7-game centuries of this series.
What did I just say?
You said
Century
7-game
series.
My bad.
Century.
Set top games
You're head by
7
a
series
century.
of this century. There we go.
Century.
Top
Got it.
5 tragically hit
Century.
That. Exactly.
Blow it high dough.
So my number 5 on the list is the 2009 Stanley Cup Finals. Sid's first cup. Go back to the year previous. They defeat the Red Wings in 7, obviously. Go to the year previous. That was his first year as captain of the Penguins. They lose to the Red Wings in 6. And then I do also believe this is the Oh no, I'm blanking on his name. He pulls the octopus out of the water in the harbor in Detroit, I believe, this year. I can't remember. Oh well, doesn't matter. Sid gets his first cup. Obviously, like defines a generation at that point and starts his real historic career there. So, 7-game series, 2009 Stanley Cup Finals.
I like it. My first pick for this, or my number 5 pick, I should say, didn't maybe have kind of like the histrionics drama behind it, but just in terms of a good 7-game series, and call it recency bias, I'm going with the Habs and Lightning first round series this year. 4 overtimes, every single game decided by 1 goal. Like, as far as just a good, hard-fought 7-game hockey series, and again, maybe this is a little bit of recency bias because I have a long list of honorable mentions that could be on this list as well. But I'm telling you, man, it is pretty rare. A 7-game series has every single game decided by 1 goal and has 4 overtimes. So it's my number 5.
Don Cherry?
Yeah, that was the one. That was the name.
By the way, Steve from Ardrossan and Chewy sent it in.
Appreciate that, guys. I just brain fart. Couldn't remember.
I don't know what that's like.
No, absolutely not. You're super sharp these days. That's a great one. Mine's also recency bias, but it's the 2025 World Series.
It was great.
That was unreal. Obviously, like Game 7 goes into extra innings, but Bo has a bomb, and then Vladdy in the bottom of the 9th gets an absolute hold of the ball. And it was the only ball that year that was hit at that angle with that speed that did not go out of a park.
And then you give up to it like a guy who never hits a home run.
Exactly. So like that was terrible. But even going back into the, like at the beginning of the series, Vladdy homers off of Shohei Ohtani right after Davis Schneider does. You have the 18-inning game. Trey Savage striking out Ohtani. Like you have Freddie Freeman walks it off in that in that 18-inning game. Like there was like everything about that World Series was awesome. And like the Jays run that year was obviously just magical. And they went up against the absolute Goliath and you got as close as you could get. So the 2025 World Series, I think everyone just will remember it as an all-time classic.
My number 4, again, not one that's maybe going to be rooted in history that people will remember as some other series on here, but the first round series in 2009 between the Celtics and the Bulls. This game, 4 games went to overtime as well in this series, including 1 game that went to double overtime and a game that went to triple overtime. And 5 games of this 7-game series were decided by 3 points or less. So you want to talk about just a hard-fought, close-knit series. This is the one. Like I said, man, a triple overtime game, a double overtime game, and 4 overtime games as well in this 7-game series. I have the 2009 first round series between the Celtics and the Bulls in my number 4.
There you go.
And the Celtics had no answer for Derrick Rose, who was
great. He had 36 in that game 1, and he was Ben Gordon in that series too was very good. For the Bulls.
But yeah, that was an honorable mention. I had a couple of those that again, first draft, I was like, ooh, where are we going out on these? But that was one that came to mind. My number 3, this is just homer bias, honestly. It's the 2019 East semis between the Raptors and the Sixers.
Thought about it.
It goes back and forth through the whole thing. Kawhi doesn't make a 3 for 3 straight games. I think people forget about that. And going into Game 7, the only people that could score for the Raptors were Serge Ibaka and Kawhi Leonard, essentially. Like they showed up big time. And then obviously that was also the first Game 7 buzzer beater in NBA playoff history. So, I put that in there. And they won the chip that year. So very special to me. I remember where I was when that happened. So number 3 for me, the 2019 East semis.
No crossover yet.
Mm-mm.
Number 3 for me, the 2004 ALCS. So, I mean, listen, the Yankees go up. The Yankees go up 3-0 in this series. Look like they're about to cakewalk to the World Series.
This is one of the all-time greatest series.
Yes, I have it at number 3. So, yes, the Yankees go up 3-0 on the series. Look like they're about to cakewalk. The Red Sox then at home win 2 games back-to-back in extras. Game 4 goes to 12 innings. Game 5 goes to 14 innings. And then they win the last 2 games to win the series on the road at Yankee Stadium, including a 10-3 win in Game 7. And they obviously was it the Cards? Who did they play?
They played the Cardinals.
Okay, so they go and they blank the Cards in 4 in the World Series.
What game did Robert steal that base? They were
that was game 4, I think.
Yeah, they were done. Everybody knew it was over. They're going to lose the series. He steals the base, and I swear to you, I said, if they come back and win this series, that stolen base, it sounds ludicrous, but it was a big damn deal. Baseball is so good, and that's one of the it doesn't matter what era you're talking about and whether or not you're talking 7-game series. That's one of the all-time greatest series ever.
No kidding. And by the way, Mariano Rivera, who was on the mound, he checked Roberts 3 times at first base before Roberts stole.
It's just baseball is so good. It's just so good, and that was great.
I can't believe I forgot to put this on my list. We had Orv Franchuk in studio last week, who was the batting coach for the Red Sox in 04. I shook his hand and he had the World Series ring on.
Yeah.
Coolest moment of my life.
I really enjoyed meeting him too. And Karius is like, this is, and he starts explaining, I know who he is.
Yeah. I think you know who the janitor was on that 04 ALCS. Like that is far and away the best comeback in sports history. Sorry, everybody. But like, come on. Historic. Number 2, I have the 2016 World Series. This was Cubs, Cleveland. Cubs go down 3-1 and then come back to win in extras in game 7. Chris Bryant gets a huge ball. He was the MVP that year. And that shatters 100 Tide, you're going to have to check me on this. 108 years.
Yeah, I believe it was 108.
108 years of no championships in for the Chicago Cubs.
And it would have been 46. It would have been about 60 some for Cleveland had they won.
Yeah, long time for Cleveland. Obviously, they lose and they stay in a drought they just come out of the drought earlier that year due to the number 1 on my list. But that 2016 World Series to come back 3-1 and win in extras for your first championship in 108 years with the MVP on your team, like
that team didn't age as well as I thought they would. The Cubs,
no, but hey, you win one, you win forever,
cares, right?
Yeah,
and Brian was brilliant. He just was.
He just fantastic.
Oh, Josh, I'm shocked, man. I thought we haven't had any crossover yet. I thought we were going to have the same top 2. So I'm shocked you didn't have either. You're going to not have one of these 2, I should say. My number 2 is the 2013 NBA Finals. Obviously, everyone probably remembers that game 6 where the Spurs are up 5 with 28 seconds remaining. LeBron James hits the 3, makes it a 2-point lead. Kawhi misses one of his 2 free throws. And then, bam, Ray out. Bosh, the rebound, Bosh, back out to bang! Like the shot heard around the world. One of the absolute best games in NBA history. Like, I know we're talking about a series, but one of the best games in NBA history. That game 6. The league officials were they had started to tape off the court to present the trophy in game 6 for the Spurs. Fans of Miami had left. They obviously tie it with Ray Allen's shot there. Then I think that's the one where Bosh gets the block as the time runs out, and then they win it in overtime. And then to follow it up, we have a game 7 where LeBron goes out and gets 37 and 12 to bring home his second championship. Unbelievable series. Probably elevated a little bit by that game 6, but it was an easy number 2 for me.
Yeah, and a thing that I think a lot of people forget about that Ray Allen shot in game 6 is that Pop subbed out Tim Duncan.
Yes, he did.
Subbed out Tim Duncan.
Which is like
sacrilege. Who would have been there to rebound the ball. But instead, Bosh gets over the smaller guys and is able to kick it out to the corner. And then obviously, like, they just have all the momentum going into game 7. So
why would you take Tim Duncan off?
Well, they wanted to defend on the perimeter because Miami needed a 3.
Needed a 3, but it also just goes to show you that sometimes even the best coaches make mistakes. It's just the way it goes. And then number 1 with a bullet, the 2016 NBA Finals. You have the greatest regular season team of all time, up 3-1 in a series, playing against the greatest player of his generation, who had promised to bring a championship back home to Cleveland. And they had no championships for, whatever you're saying, like 60 years or so.
Well, it was 54 when the Cleveland Indians won.
Well, they're 54, so just doing some quick math here. 62 years.
Yeah.
62 years, no rings. And like Draymond kicks, was it Kevin Love in the nuts?
I don't remember.
And then
it was a love tap.
Yeah. But anyways,
it was a kid. He got suspended.
He got suspended for a game. Cavs, they win a game, and then they win again, and then we come down to game 7. This is the greatest game 7 ever. Draymond turns into Steph Curry. For whatever reason, he would have
won finals MVP.
He had like 23 first half points. He was pulling up. He was spotting up from 3. He was unreal. And then you get down to the last few possessions of the game. You have the block, the shot, and the stop. And then there's just some crazy like stories about this game, whatever. But then they win, and you get LeBron saying, "Cleveland, this is for you," and it just ends the drought. The king comes home and finishes it up.
Really quickly, some honorable mentions. I had 2011 World Series, David Freese's heroics. You guys remember that? The 2013 first round Bruins and Leafs.
Yep.
Well, that was a great one.
How about that one? 2002 Western Conference Finals, Lakers and Kings. I did have the Cubs and Cleveland. And 2015 first round, Clippers and Spurs. That was a heck of a series. But easily, like Josh said, I don't even need to say anything else with a bullet. The 2016 NBA Finals, my number one.
There you go.
That's declinations today.
That was good. I enjoyed a lot of great memories. Roberts on the base paths. LeBron bringing it home.
That block.
It was incredible.
Should have been a goaltending, technically, by the rules. His hand hits the rim. That's by technicality, that's a goaltend.
Yeah, but it was after.
You know what's funny is when you go game 7, you exclude all football.
I know.
And it's too bad because there's some great, mammoth games in football.
If we're just going like straight elimination games, then I think obviously Patriots, Falcons.
I thought about getting creative with it and being like, this was the 7th time these teams played in 4 years, but I was too much.
So, the only problem with the Falcons Patriots is that it wasn't really an interesting game, terribly interesting anyway, aside from once you realize they were going to lose it, you just had to witness it. I like the classics that are close. And they just got I will say that the Eagles beating New England was one of my favorite games ever.
It's a great one because you get Philly, right? And then even you go a few years down the line, you have Chiefs, Eagles. That's the highest scoring Super Bowl in history, right?
But the Eagles, as good as they were that day, and they were aggressive, man, they were aggressive on 4th down. They almost lost it on the final play of the game. That's how great Brady was.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
He had 550 passing yards that game.
Jeez Louise. Man, he's like Rasputin out there. And he's done, right? He's not coming back?
As far as we're aware, yeah.
Are we satisfied with him as a commentator? Has he settled in?
Yeah, he settled in.
Okay. He got a lot better this year. He was grinding his own tape.
Leaps and bounds. Yeah. He settled in.
All right. Because he wasn't great, boys.
No, he didn't start great. No, and they kicked Greg Olson for him, and Greg Olson was great.
Fabulous, But Romo's the best.
I like Greg Olson.
I think Greg Olson's the best.
Interesting. Maybe Romo's my favorite quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys ever. I loved him. He was so good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. On the way, lots of your comments about what Steve said and about the semifinals and the Edmonton Oilers coaching situation, all straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Time for an update with Declan Krueger.
Brought to you by Elks Nation. For the best Elks coverage year-round with podcasts and articles, go to elksnation.ca. Player interviews, game analysis, and more. The best green and gold coverage online, elksnation.ca. IHF Men's World Hockey Championship. Some finals from earlier was Canada over Slovakia 3-1 and Germany over Hungary 6-2 games right now. See Sweden over Italy 2-0 and Finland over Great Britain 1-0. In the NHL tonight, we will see game 2 of the Western Conference Finals, Vegas and Colorado with the 6 p.m. puck drop. No Cale Makar for the Avs in that one. In the NBA, OKC and San Antonio with a 6:30 tip. That series tied 1 game apiece. No J-Dub likely for Oklahoma City, and Dylan Harper questionable for San Antonio. In the MLB right now, 1 game on. Astros and Cubs tied 0-0. The next game on the dock will be the Guardians and Phillies at 4:40. The Jays will host Pittsburgh at 5:07. Chandler on the mound for Pittsburgh. Gosman on the mound for Toronto. And in the sporting world, Megan Duggan has left her NHL role with the New Jersey Devils as a player development scout to take over as the GM of the new PWHL Hamilton franchise. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
He's the only person to win an arm wrestling contest with the Philly Fanatic. The Lowdown with Lowetide, now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Huge May savings on new 2026 Sierra 1500 pickups and all remaining 2025 Terrain SUVs. WolfGMCBuick.com. Man, I love that song by the Beach Boys. If you have a summer day, and anything really by the Beach Boys, but the up-tempo stuff and anything from Pet Sounds really is out of sight. Just gorgeous music. You guys probably don't like the Beach Boys. They're too fun.
There's nothing wrong with the Beach Boys. Never once have I ever said there's anything wrong.
That was the
with
name
Beach
of one of their albums. There's nothing wrong with the Beach Boys.
Well, there we go.
What about you, Declan?
I like the Beach Boys, but like, is it my go-to from that era? It's probably not.
What's your go-to from that era?
Well, like, okay, so how do you define the, because like I don't really consider them the same era as like the Beatles or the Stones, even though I guess they kind of were. I think of them and the Eagles as being contemporaries, and I probably like the Eagles more.
Do you know that I think that the Beach Boys' first recorded hit was like in 62.
Oh, so I'm way off then?
Well, no, but I mean, they were still popular in the 70s.
Yeah, I'm looking them up right now. It looks like 1961 was kind of their formation, their
so
first
they were
album
3 years ahead of the Beatles in North America.
So I was definitely
So you're
wrong
just
on-
an idiot.
Yeah, I was definitely wrong on that one.
It's okay.
They still wouldn't be my first choice. Shout out the Beach Boys though.
Yeah, I really like them a lot. My first choice would be the Stones. I love the Stones, but Beach Boys fan. The Stones lyrics and the Beach Boys lyrics, quite different. You know, depends on your mood, right? In the Red Sox-Yankees series, my boss got back from a conference in New Orleans and gifted me a voodoo doll. With the Red Sox down 0-2, I went to the Yankees website and printed off a picture of their logo and stuffed it inside the voodoo doll. Where the cursed things go, Red Sox won. Mr. Maris.
Way to go, man. That was all you. Now we know why they won.
It was an impossible win. Like, they were toast. I remember watching going, God, you know, because I can't get mad at the Yankees anymore. Tim Raines won a World Series with the Yankees. So that's like, you make a deal with the devil, right? My favorite player isn't going to win a World Series, but he goes to the Yankees. I said, if he wins, I will never say anything bad about the Yankees. And I have said stuff bad, but I always brace it with something like, you know, I can't cheer against them, and then I say something awful about them. But I mean, I'm happy that happened. I'm happy the Red Sox won.
That's a crazy story from Mr. Maris, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It just, you know, I just wonder if Mr. Maris is a Oilers fan, why he didn't put a Florida Panthers logo in there.
If the Yankees ever traded for Mike Trout and won, I would still hate the Yankees.
But I made the deal, and I have to acknowledge the deal, or the gremlins will get me, you know.
I just wouldn't make that deal to begin with. I'd rather cut open my eyes or something.
Well, you didn't suffer like I did. You're young.
Mike Trout has never won a
but you're 21 years old.
22.
Whatever. You're like, I got shoes older than you.
That's a problem.
Yeah, well, they stink too. So
I can't believe they're still like, you know, put together. They're not worn into the ground.
Well, they're my home shoes. I just barbecue with them and such. You know, I mean, they don't smell great. LT, Hurricane Steve just left the building. Last century, 21st, 20th. The 72 Summit Series still shivers me timbers. Thanks from Mark. By the way, I got a lovely text saying, by far the best guest we have on each week is Steve Lansky. So Lansky has detractors and people who love him. And he's never afraid to give his opinion or to go to a movie at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which is his right. He's worked hard his whole life. He lied. People were quick on the Don Cherry. They knew you were talking about the octopus.
Yeah. I just couldn't remember. That's the way she goes sometimes.
They still run that. They don't run the show anymore, but they still run that. And you go, oh my God, is that ever iconic?
Yeah, no, like you still see it on like Instagram and stuff. Like I'll just be scrolling through Instagram Reels or TikTok or something, and it'll come up.
Yeah.
And it could be, August.
What's the most iconic Canadian thing to you?
Like ever?
Yeah, like if you are sitting and describing somebody from Mars or Florida who comes to visit Canada, and they're like, what's the thing that represents Canada to you the most? What is it?
Maple syrup.
Yeah, that's probably it. It's like that or like a snow-covered tree.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually had people from Florida. Sorry, quick tangent. My roommate, there's two parts of his company. One's here in Edmonton and the other's in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So he had some Florida coworkers that were up. They came up for vacation, whatever. They stayed with us for a night. And they were like, it was right after Christmas. So it was cold
Mm-hmm.
and it had just finished blizzarding for like a week straight. And they're like, oh, this is amazing. I'm like, I'm sorry, like the weather's been so crappy that the whole time you guys have been up here. They're like, no. They're like, this is amazing. I'm like, really? They're like, yeah, it's never like this in Florida. This is our winter wonderland. I'm like, this is Edmonton under like 16 inches of snow right now.
Yeah, it's June, July, and winter here. Did they know that?
No. But they're just like, yeah, right now we'd be, in the pond behind this one guy's house wrestling crocodiles. This is a literal thing they said to me. That was not like...
That's a while. I remember the first time I ever went to Mexico, went to Mazatlan, and we got off the plane. We take a little buggy to the actual airport. We get through customs. We take an open air vehicle of some sort to the hotel, and our pores are opening. The sun is beating down, and we're in heaven. And we get there, and the concierge says, "I'm so sorry about the weather." And we're like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, no, this isn't very warm." Well, if you want to get back on the plane with us next week, you can see how we think this is wonderful weather. You guys ever gone midwinter to a really, really hot place? Not hell, I'm talking about on Earth.
Yeah. When I was a kid, we went to Arizona during February.
Mm-hmm.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
And then I went to Disney World during my November break when I was in grade 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it was like 18 degrees Celsius one day. So I was wearing shorts.
Yeah.
It was lovely out.
Yeah.
And then you see like the people who live in Florida, they were wearing like spring jackets.
Yeah. And Declan, you time travel. So I'll just, in this particular time frame, have you been anywhere really warm in the middle of winter?
Cuba. I went to Cuba one time in
Nice.
December over Christmas. It was a Christmas gift. Went with my mom and my sister. It was lovely.
Yeah.
Very cool country.
Things are going so well in Cuba now. So I'm glad you got to see it when it was a little different,
I like Cuba.
I've not been, but I like that they love 57-70 so much. And they love baseball as much as I do. So.
And boxing. Hey, they love boxing.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, good point. I think the most Canadian thing, when I think of Canada, I think the CFL. Maybe it's because I spent so much time around and with the Rough Riders, but they make such a difference to that province. And I really think there was a time when the Eskimos did the same thing here. And I would like to see the Elks do that again. But I think and I also think curling is uniquely Canadian, even though folks in Minnesota and such do it. I don't think there's a lot of people in, Hawaii who curl. Now I'll get a call from somebody who curls from Hawaii, but I think those are uniquely Canadian. Plus, Crown Royal.
Very Canadian.
Yeah.
Beavers.
I guess, Timbits.
Cod.
Yeah.
Hockey. Did anyone say hockey?
No.
Well, but is it uniquely Canadian now? Because the Americans have sort of like the power base of the NHL. No, but the power base of the NHL, let's be honest, is Manhattan, Vegas, and Florida.
I'll give you that hockey made even like I'm not even talking about America, but when you talk about hockey, you might like think Sweden, Finland. Like when you say maple syrup, you're only thinking of Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right. It is uniquely Canadian. All right. So I'm going to go around the room again, and I'm going to ask you, because it has changed a little bit. There is a world in which Bruce Cassidy is not the next head coach of the Edmonton Oilers because the Oilers don't even get to talk to him. So given that, what is your choice, your number one choice for the next Edmonton Oilers coach?
I'll go first. I guess it has to be Craig Berube. Like, he, by technicality, fits the criteria of what it is they're looking for. It's not going to be Mike Babcock. It's not going to be Scotty Bowman.
This Mike Babcock rumor stuff is, I love that Gregor's taking the piss out of it. I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you read his article today?
Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I heard him online yesterday.
Yeah, get on it.
Yeah.
So, like, that's dumb. But, and then I'm not a Peter Laviolette guy. And then David Carl's not coming out of Denver. So, I think Craig Berube is probably your best and only option of people that, like, fit your criteria, essentially.
Why'd you say no to Laviolette?
I just don't think that players like playing for him. I don't know if players like playing for Berube either, to be fair. But I get it. JT Miller, locker room cancer. But I think there's just a bunch of stink around Laviolette that maybe a guy like Berube
shines like a diamond.
No. But we're talking about the difference between a dump and a dumpster right now, I would say.
And what about you? You would go Laviolette, Declan?
I just like they seem to really be hanging their hat on getting a coach with NHL experience, which I completely understand. But I just like I threw out Jeff Halpern, I threw out Nolan Pratt. I know it's probably not the direction they want to go, but are some of these assistants really that bad of an option?
I agree with you.
If you're pigeonholing me to a name, I'll say Peter Laviolette, but this is maybe just me trying to prove I'm the smartest guy in the room by saying, hey, go get one of those really good assistants. You know what I mean? So,
don't you mean again?
Yeah. As always.
My choice is Jay Woodcroft. Wrote about him, I think, convincingly in my Athletic article today, and I encourage you to read it. But I think the best coach would be the guy they can't go get. So my next question for you two jokers is this. If you had to give up a second-round pick, because Vegas just lost a second-round pick. The Oilers have a second-round pick, 52 overall right now. If you had to give up that pick to get the coach, would you do it?
The coach being Bruce Cassidy?
Yes.
Sure. Why not, man?
Well, the second-round pick's not going to help you for 5
Yeah,
years.
exactly, right? And it's like, if you really, really, really feel this is your guy and you really, really feel you're now in this 2-year, absolutely, what's the clock? Minutes to midnight, that's turned up to 11:59 and you have to get your guy, then you don't worry about the second round pick.
Yeah, I think all that's true. Would you do it, Josh?
Yeah, I would, no doubt. To probably be the best trade Stan Bowman's made is in his tenure as the Oilers GM.
I don't know. But Colson was really good.
You know what? You're right. Never mind. Egg on my face with that one.
No. I mean, it's easy to forget about the good ones because there's been some that are not good.
There's been more bad than good. I mean, like the Dickinson and Murphy trade was good.
But you got to re-sign them.
But you can't re-sign them. That's the problem. Dickinson's going to make a boatload of money.
Yeah, he
now
is.
Murphy, you've got to sign. I think you do.
Yeah, I mean, you got the best Darnell Nurse of the season when he was playing next to Connor Murphy. Like you can't not bring him
solves
back.
two problems. You need a right defenseman on the second pair, and you need Nurse to straighten up and fly right.
And you need a partner for Nurse.
It's actually crazy how it's like the Darnell Nurse discourse is like 50% of the time we have the left side defenseman we need, 50% of the time we don't, depending who he's playing with. Like that's just such a crazy spot to be in.
Yeah. And at this long, you wonder because, players go in and out, as they gain experience, but he's been in the NHL for 11 years. This is him. And I think he's such an absolute ramrod. He can play forever. He gets off the ice. He waits 45 seconds. He can jump right back on. That has real value. People are saying, well, you can trade him and you can you can retain and like he has value. You're going to get another contract that's large and maybe a player who's not playing at the level that you would expect for that kind of coin. But there's no reason to retain on Darnell Nurse. If you have to do that, then you just keep him. And you trade, probably Wallman, which you can do before July 1. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. On the way, we've already talked to Lansky. We've already done declinations, but there's plenty to talk about, including the Elks. And we'll do that with Declan on the way next as they get ready for their first preseason game of 2026 CFL schedule. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. We're brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. The selection never better. The savings up to $12,000 when you combine cash discounts on your new 2026 Sierra 1500 pickup. Up to $1,750 in cash rebates on remaining 2025 Terrain SUVs. Plus 0% financing up to 72 months on most models. And ask about the truck trade-in bonus of up to $1,500 on select new in-stock Sierra 1500s.
Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
When thirst strikes and your energy begins to fade, one hero rises above the rest. Introducing the Superpower Smoothie from Booster Juice. A bright sun-charged burst of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. An out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local Booster Juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl. Only in theaters June 26th.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well. Restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff, before the first snap. It starts with you locking in your season seats. This is Edmonton Elks football. The only way to experience it is being there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. The Elks home opener kicks off June 20th against Montreal. Your season seats are your way in. Get yours now at goelks.com/season seats. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. wolfgmcbuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide for Sports 1440 and Wolf GMC Buick. Huge May savings on right now. Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide. I'm Lowetide. I get to be Lowetide because I'm the only person in this room who did stand on the corner in Winslow, Arizona one time. Bazillion years ago. I tried to steal the sign too, but man, that thing is absolutely down. Somebody's tried to do it before. Just saying. It is time for rumors Brought to you by Harley-Davidson of Edmonton. It's riding season, and Harley-Davidson of Edmonton has your next bike waiting. Huge selection of new and pre-owned, plus test rides available. Locally owned and operated since 1980 on the Yellowhead Trail or at hdedmonton.com. Check it out. Great day to head over there and check out what they've got going on. Okay, CFL Elks playing tomorrow, getting underway with the start of the preseason, which is, not that long. But it's an opportunity for some rookies, some unknowns, some specials guys who are going to be hopefully playing more of a role as the year goes by. What is your anticipated outcome? How do you feel about this team right now, Declan? Are they ahead or behind the opposition?
Overall or for this preseason
For this preseason game?
Well, BC has a really strong roster through and through, but I think BC is also they've benefited. I talked about this with Edmonton a little bit earlier. Edmonton's kind of in a spot where they need to come out of the gate with some chemistry and they need to kind of hit the ground running game one. I haven't seen BC's depth chart released. I'll look that up in a second, but BC is certain that feels a little bit more polished and a little bit obviously the end goal is winning a Grey Cup. They haven't done that, but they're certainly closer to where they want to be, at least based on what we've seen the past couple of years than Edmonton. They don't need to have Nathan Rourke come out and hand the ball off to James Butler and throw it to Justin McInnes and stuff and have Matthew Betts playing off the edge, because we know what those guys can be and the top end ability they bring. So yeah, I would say Edmonton for this preseason game. I think who knows what happens in preseason games. No one cares about wins or losses. I would say they're definitely coming in with a little bit more of a chip and an edge and a readiness. And so if you're going to, if you're asking me for a result here, I'll say they win it. Sure.
Who would you pick as a player that is maybe not known to the fans that will be more of a favorite by the final whistle than he is in the opening whistle?
Oh, good question. I mean, there's a couple. I really, really love Therese Reed's game. I don't think the DB core is so solid that I don't see him sneaking into that first unit. Not a diss on him. It's just a credit to how good that DB unit is here. I would maybe say Jalen Calhoun, who plays as a wideout, or Carter Kettle, the U of A product. Okay. I was a little hard on Carter Kettle. I didn't think his size was quite pro ready. I tweeted the other day, I don't know if he's had a drop ball camp. He looks really comfortable. He's got good hands. He's got good speed. He's clean with everything. And it's kind of easy to root for the hometown guy. So I'll say those three names.
Okay. I remember earlier in the training camp that you were kind of down on Kettle. You said that he was Mrs. Andrews' favorite and you were going to punish him because of that.
It was a big reason why.
Yeah, for sure. So
it was never in camp. It was out of the draft. I was a little surprised by the spot they took him. I was a little surprised by the selection, positional fit, things like that. And then, I just think sometimes Can West receivers look a little bit better against Can West DBs because it's not necessarily a conference or a league known for exceptional DB play. It's known for the offensive and defensive lines a little bit more. So it's easy to look a little bit better there. Like I said, thought his size needed to be a little bit bigger, put on some strength, but he's looked good. So credit to him.
Well, I just like the idea of taking skill guys like wide receiver. I'm tired of watching the Rough Riders have 3 good Canadian receivers. Enough of that noise. Right?
Yeah, but they build their offensive line out, right, from Canadians. So you hit your wagon to that.
There you go. Cale Makar will miss game 2 of the Western Conference Final. Ward Stone will miss on the other side too. I don't know if that makes it an even match, but it's there. Bob Hartley has announced his retirement. I don't know that Josh is in mourning, but Hartley was he was the best counter trade. They'd get pummeled 5 shots. Kiprusoff or whoever the goalie was would stop all of them, and then they'd throw the puck to center ice, and there'd be a 2-on-1, and they'd score. They beat the Oilers soundly doing that over more than 1 year. So there you go. Not saying it works, but it can work. For tonight, for this weekend, let's put it that way. I think it's really important for Colorado and Carolina to show up and to win one, but also just to play better. Carolina specifically, Montreal looked good, but no matter how good they looked, you've got to play better. You got to win a game. So that'll be what the expectation is. Let's move it to the NBA. What do you expect? Because the Western Series is the one to pay attention to. And it looks like it's going to go 7 and be an all-time barn burner.
Yeah, it's a good question because Dylan Harper is a game time decision. I would say he's probably been their second best player through the playoffs through and through. No shade to Steph Castle. It's just that he's had 20 turnovers in 2 games, which is so far from good.
Maybe he's nervous.
He is. That's literally the way that we can write that up, is that he is nervous and he's getting flustered by the Oklahoma City defense. That being said, he's still defending like a son of a gun, and his offensive production outside of the turnovers has been really good. I think they'll find a way. He'll find a way to shore up the turnovers, especially going back into San Antonio. I do not think that the Thunder are going to get this done in 5. I honestly, I think the Spurs are too well built to go down in 5. Now, I'd be happy to eat crow on it if I was wrong, because that's the nature of the business. But like, man, I expect a big Wemby game tonight.
How hard is it compared to the other North American leagues to win 2 in a row?
That's a good question, because I still think it's probably the 3rd hardest. I'd say maybe the NFL is easier, but it's probably 4.
I think 2 in a row is relatively comparable across all the leagues. Like once you get past 2, then it's a bit more of a debate. I think 2 though is pretty on par with the rest.
But football is so like fractured. You know, you lose a lot of players year over year.
Yeah, people like baseball is really hard to do it, because like there's so many games in the season. You go through a cold stretch, all of a sudden, like you've got no sniff of making the playoffs.
Plus,
like just
pitchers are hurt,
and pitchers are hurt. Like there's too much that goes into it. I think hockey is probably the hardest one, because your best players can't play all the time, and like it's not comparable because they don't score every time they're on the ice. Like it's just sort of the way it is. And then basketball, your best players can play as many minutes as they want for as long as you want. Obviously, like fatigue will set in, but best players do the things that best players do. And then in the NFL, it is literally just like it's one and done. But you lose your quarterback, you're done. You lose your left guard, you're done. You lose a linebacker, you're probably still okay. But like there's just some positions of need that, like, if you lose one guy that's important to the team, like you've got nothing.
Football is like, I think that's one of the reasons why it's such an interesting game for fans, is that you know everybody knows the quarterback is like vitally important, but you know your blindside guy, you need to have him. He's got to be fantastic, and you know you don't need a guy to run the ball, but you need a way to not have to 4 and out. You've got a way to get a first down by the air. You have to be able to do that consistently. It doesn't really matter how you construct your offense, but you have to do it in a way that you can control the ball.
It's like chess, except with big bodies hitting each other all the time.
And people talk, just to kind of throw it back a touch here, like people talk about it being really tough to win 2 in a row in hockey, which it is, don't get me wrong. But like in the last 10 years, we've had 3 teams go back to back. And before that, Chicago and LA, like I know they went 1-1-1-1, but like I'm just like, that's why I think it's comparable to other leagues.
If I was to make a list, a giant piece of foolscap, and I was to write all of the football positions down after quarterback, what's 2, 3, 4, 5 in terms of importance of position?
Left tackle, number 2.
That'd be up there. I mean, if we're going top 5, you obviously go quarterback, you go in. This is in no particular order after quarterback, but left tackle, defensive end, wide receiver, corner.
Mm-hmm.
Those would be the 4.
Okay.
I'd probably, like, if we were numbering, I think left tackle's 2, and then wide receivers probably 3, because your quarterback needs someone to throw to.
Yeah, but like on the other end, it's like defense wins championships, and you want to pay the guy who gets the quarterback, and you want to pay the guy who stops the receiver from getting the ball.
This is again a very valid point.
Argument,
well, no, but I think it's interesting, for fans to, contemplate it. And what about a wide receiver that is humble? When was the last guy we had who was a humble, great wide receiver? Jerry Rice?
Julian Edelman?
No, not even him, bro. I don't think. Wes Welker, maybe. It's a good question. The correct answer is there hasn't been one, but
I mean, a guy who you can draft and he plays 10 years for you and he doesn't bitch about how many balls are thrown to him.
No, there's actually an answer. Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Our bad.
One of one, to be fair. But
one of one in a lot of ways.
No. Boy, did he go to the wrong team, eh?
Hey, he was one play away from winning a Super Bowl.
Well, the New York Mets have designated Craig Kimbrell for assignment and recalled Jonah Tong. There's a lot in there. Kimbrell is, 311 years old and has been saving games since the early 1950s. And Tong, a young Canadian, is just starting out, but he's a brilliant young pitcher, starter, and it's about time they called him up. He struggled a little bit, but he has great ability. And I'm going to make this prediction now. I'm going to find the standings in MLB, and I'm going to see because the Mets have stunk the joint out all year. They've been ghastly. The New York Mets are 22-28. They're 12.5 out of first. Braves are in first in the NL East. The Phillies, Nationals are both ahead. Only the Marlins are behind and barely a half game behind the Mets. The Mets are 22-28 right now, but they're turning it around. They are getting better. I watched them a little bit, and I can tell you this Mets team is 7-3 in the last 10, and I think by game 75, they'll be over 500. So that right now, they're at 50 games. In the next 25 games, they're going to take up that 6-game gap and get a little bit ahead. And I'm not saying they're going to win the division, but I think they'll be in the wild card race. Soto is feeling better. They're getting some of their young bats straightened out. Their defense is ghastly. I mean, I still cannot believe that play at first base. That's one of the all-time Metsy plays in history.
Really bad. I can't believe what I'm looking at with the NL East right now, though. The differential, the Braves plus 104, then everyone else is in the negatives.
That's terrible. Have you seen the NL Central?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Everybody's over 500.
Yeah, it's awesome. The Reds would be tied for first in the AL West, and they're at the bottom.
Along with the Pirates.
And NL Central.
It's just crazy. And like, these are all good teams. I watch the Cardinals all the time. And they're, they're good, but they're really no better than the Pirates or the Reds or the Cubs or the Brewers.
That's another good 7-game series. That Cardinal series from 2009, I think it was.
Yeah. The Cardinals Brewers in 82 was also really good in the World Series. There was a mistake made by an umpire there that cost the Brewers. Padres are only 1.5 behind the Dodgers. That's really good.
Shout out to the Padres,
man. And they don't have any starting pitching. They really don't. Clay Kirby pitched for them last week. That's how bad they are.
It's really just on the back of like Manny Machado, eh?
Machado's having a bad year though.
I know. And so is Tatis.
Yes. Yeah, Tatis can't hit a home run.
He can't really hit at all.
No, but I mean, like he hits a fly ball. It goes to like shallow right. He goes and he puts his head in his hands, and he's in his brain so bad. And that's like a professional athlete and he's the number one reason San Diego Padres fans go to watch the San Diego Padres. And he is in it. He is in one right now. And it's crazy. By the way, Vic Fangio planning to coach at least 2 more seasons. As an Eagles fan, I approve.
Yeah.
How old is he? 50,000 years old?
Vic Fangio?
No.
He's probably pretty old. Vic Fangio he was born in 58.
Okay, well then he's not
He's not that much older than you are. Sorry to hear that.
He's not that much older. This is only funny if it doesn't look bad on me, All right, what are we looking forward to? We're taking a break in a couple of shakes here. What are we looking forward to most in sports or in person this weekend?
Yeah, I'm going on a trip.
Oh, hey.
Yep.
Where are you going?
Italy.
So you're back Sunday?
No, I'm going to be gone for 9 days, 9 work days.
Is this true?
Yeah.
I didn't sign off on this.
I thought I might have told you. I haven't brought it. I'm a really, 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 really nervous flyer.
I married an Italian woman. Do you want to know about Italy?
I would love
It's in the shape of a shoe. And they have a parliament there, and the government changes every 11 seconds because there's 60,000 parties.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Rome is a city.
It is the capital city.
Is there anything else you need to know?
I think that covers it.
Okay.
But I was saying, yeah, I'm a really, 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 really I'm really scared of flying. So I've been trying not to think about it. It's becoming much more real now.
Oh, you'll be fine. Are you going to Vatican City?
Yes.
Okay, very nice. Very, very nice.
So that's my weekend.
Just mentally preparing for this flight.
Yeah. Watch the Spurs Thunder tonight and just try and
How do you prepare for a flight? Maybe people can give you advice about how to calm the hell down or whatever when you're getting on the flight.
I would love that. If anyone has any advice out there, that'd be awesome.
My friend Jane takes, I think, Imodium a lot. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but you know what I mean. I take something to read that's long. Why don't you take a copy of my book? Why don't you buy a copy of my book and take it?
Yeah, I'll do that. He says sarcastic. No, I'm just kidding.
He lies.
All right. So are you sure of Fajardo? Like, can you promise me Fajardo stays in the lineup for 75% of the games and the Elks make the playoffs?
I cannot promise you that.
I want the Elks to do well, but I also know that you need a quarterback who's steady and a veteran and can make some throws. And I'm no expert, but the vibe I'm getting from you and Gregor is that this is going to be a story this year, and I can smell it from here.
Yeah, I would listen. I like Cody. I wanted him back as QB1. But yeah, just bluntly, he has some limitations, and he's not old, but he's a little bit older, and there are just some kinks. There's some kinks.
Which, by the way, was a great rock and roll band, but you don't want it with your quarterback.
Yeah, no.
All right. Okay, we'll take a break. Your comments on the way, and we'll wrap it up for another week, and we'll preview what's Gregor has. He just sent a list here, a pretty funky list. We'll talk about it next. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, and we're brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Do you have neck or back pain? Ever go for
numerous times to try to keep Dovish in his net. There's a chance for Slavkovsky. Highlight reel goal. Uri Slavkovsky. Reach in the big body. It looks like he's not even. Hart left open. Hart puts it in. Got Hart on fire from outside. Hart left open. Hart puts it in. Got Hart on fire from outside. Hart left open. Hart puts it in. That's it. They will wave Moreno. Here comes Gabby. Here's the throw. And the Diamondbacks win it. That's it. They will wave Moreno. Here comes Gabby. Here's the throw. And the Diamondbacks win it.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
That girl singing. It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out. Huge May savings at wolfgmcbuick.com. I don't know what I'd do if Friday at 1:40 came along and we didn't play that song. I probably would have to go to my car and play the song just to start the weekend. It's like the official bell toll of the weekend. And some of us are heading to like other countries, like, you know, how long is the flight, Declan?
9 hours.
So do you get to watch a movie?
Yeah, it's a red eye, so hopefully I'll sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting sweaty even thinking about it right now. Yeah, watch some movies, listen to some stuff, maybe make a list of my top 100 NBA players. I don't know.
Lana Del Rey?
I'll listen to, Chemtrails Over the Country Club. I'll listen to that.
People are recommending alcohol. I do not recommend that. I don't recommend you do that.
Maybe some like melatonin.
Yeah. Or you know, what like Advil or whatever, you know, but your Diavol, Gravol. I don't know. Do you talk to your doctor?
Yeah, I got some Ativan.
Okay. There you go.
Yep.
You know, you still have to be like functional. You can't, you know.
Yeah. I also really don't. Oh, bless you. I also really don't like taking
sneezy and bouncy and boinky. What?
I don't like taking pills either. So it's like, come on, Declan, figure it out a little bit here, buddy. Like, we're trying to help you. You know what I mean? But
okay, now if the doctor prescribes medicine, you do take it, right?
There have been times I haven't.
Declan, you got to do that, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not your dad, but you have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? Learn how to take pills?
Well, you have to take them when you're supposed to. I have a pill I take in the morning and a pill I take at night. I can't take them together, and I can't switch them around. And as you get older, this is important stuff.
I have a text from my dear sweet mother here. She says Declan just needs to pop a gummy when he's walking down the ramp towards the plane. He'll be fine and we'll sleep.
See, this is the thing we weren't going to say, but Declan's mom, Josh's mom gets to the heart of the matter.
People have suggested that, although I'll say this because people have suggested that even on the text line here. I am the biggest like anti, like weed. I'll just say it. I guess I don't know if that's a CRTC violation. I'm like the biggest anti-weed guy in the world. Like
my thing is I'm fine with everything, but it takes all my spit away, and I can get so dry. I wake up and I'm like, so that's why I don't do it.
That's a classic.
So. But I'm also old. Like I'm Canadian, so when it was illegal, I didn't do it.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I didn't do it.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm sorry. People don't believe me when I say that. I'm naturally paranoid. But I love Crown Royal a lot too. But anyway, that is the answer. Okay, Gregor today. Always an interesting show every day, but Friday for sure. Danny Webster covering the Golden Knights. Will be by at 2:20 CFL report. Will you be in on that, Declan?
I don't know. I guess
you'll find out, right?
Find out, yeah.
Cam Tate at 3:40, stat of the day. Craig Button. I hope they talk about the draft. The Oilers are kind of in it. They've got a 52nd overall pick. At 5, Speck will be by, and Lowetide at 5:20.
Who's that guy?
He's trying to get him, a little more popular by putting him on his show, but I think it's not going to work. I'll be watching baseball. I got to clean up around the house. I'm going to barbecue. I got to do laundry. It's like going to Italy.
Yeah, basically.
Busman's holiday.
Very comparable.
Yeah. And what about you?
I'm golfing right after this, actually. I got a text from a couple friends of mine that were like, hey, do you want to come out? I haven't seen them in a couple weeks, so that'll be nice to hit the links with them for just a quick little 9 this afternoon. Then I'll watch some basketball.
Is it par 3?
No, we're going to the Broadmoor Public Golf Course in Sherwood Park.
Nice.
And then we got the 2 shows tomorrow. I'll be there for those. And
so you've got a young lady in your life. You're going to have to cut back on your weekend activity.
Yeah, but luckily she lives in Peace River, and so like it's every 2 weeks we see each other. 7 sleeps until I see her, just so everyone's aware.
Nicely done. 7 sleeps. I remember that era. There you
Yeah.
go.
Hey, every morning.
I love
Send her the Wordle score. How many sleeps until we see each other again?
That is so good.
Kind of barf, but also
no,
it makes me smile.
Honestly, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. And so anyway, it's her birthday next week. She's very excited.
Super.
Yeah.
You got some plans.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm just sort of following along with her plans, but I'm very proud of the gift that I got her.
Nicely done, sir.
Anyways, neither here nor there. Having some buddies over tomorrow night. My roommate and I are. We're gonna watch Project Hail Mary and get drunk.
What's Project Hail Mary?
You haven't seen Project Hail Mary?
No.
Ryan Gosling movie based on the Andy Weir novel, also called Project Hail Mary. Same guy that did The Martian.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, it's super cute, really, really good. Best movie this year so far.
What's it called again?
Project Hail Mary.
And you can rent it?
Yes.
Project Hail Mary. If I remember it, I'll watch it.
It's really, really, really good. Ryan Gosling is fantastic in it.
Right now we're watching a series called The Heist, and it's really good.
I've heard of that, actually.
I mean, it's so good. We don't watch like 6 in a row because our brains would melt, but
you're older. That's just not a thing that people do.
No, it feels weird to this day to do it.
My dad doesn't do it. My mom loves doing it, but my dad does. It's just like 2 episodes max.
Yeah.
He really has to like something for us to watch, like a third episode.
2 episodes. That's 2 hours, basically. There's other things to do in life. You've got to probably go do something else.
It's true. That's about the same length as a movie that you'd want to watch.
Right. And it should be the length of any sporting event, except it's 3 or 4. And if it's a baseball extra inning game, God knows how long it'll be.
Especially if it goes to 18.
Oh, my God.
Shout out to Game 5.
Head to Athens for the EuroLeague final, says Oddball. Is that on the schedule, Declan?
It's not, but I like that. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Lance says drugs are for hippies. Are there any hippies left?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
there's got to be a few.
I mean, like real hippies, like they burn a bunch of sagebrush in their frying pans and call it a salad, that kind of thing.
I'm just gonna dox him here really quick. Declan used a filler word on Wordle just now.
Yes.
How dare he? The sanctity of the game.
He does. He writes 4 down that have different things, and then he knows all the letters. It's the damnedest thing.
I didn't do that strategy this time.
Oh, okay.
But by the way, Deck, I just want you to know I got it in 4 today.
I got it in 5, and Karen got it in 6, and she's way smarter than me, so I won today.
So I beat both you and Karen,
yeah, and that means you should be happy.
You and Lowetide. She got 5 today.
Okay. Well, I got it, and then you get everything but the first letter, and then you're just okay. Boom, da boom, da boom.
I got it in 3 yesterday. I felt pretty good.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was. What was it? Anger. Now I can't remember. Doesn't matter.
Well,
agree. It was agree yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was.
Because my second guess was anger.
I love how Lowetide is pretending to love that song from Drew. I actually do love that song. The International Love Song. I love that song.
It's banging.
Yeah, I love all music. I just don't love all music all the time. There's stuff from there's some terrible country songs. 9,999,999 tears. That's not a good lyric. You need to do better. If you've got the music and you write 9,999,999 tears, then you rewrite it and make it better.
Did you get it?
So used another filler word on guess 5. Went with tangy. Get some letters in there. Final guess. By the way, turn the volume down for the next 10 seconds if you haven't
you don't
played
want to tell
Wordle
people.
today.
Yeah.
Turn it down if you haven't played Wordle today and you want to. 3, 2, 1. Last word, I went focal instead of vocal.
Oh.
Missed it.
Yeah,
My bad.
I had a bunch of words that were almost that. Then I finally got the right word at 5.
My third guess of the day was local. So I
now people have tuned back to their radio.
Oh, my apologies,
Yeah.
folks. And I was like, oh, hey, pretty close.
People are going to be swearing at us in the comments section.
But at that
anytime.
point, you have guesses to go with. You have time.
Do you guys have a Wordle first word? I start with canoe from Top Guy. Mine is adieu. It's like adieu. And it's got everything but the O. And what word do you use?
I use audio.
Okay.
So pretty close.
Yeah.
I feel more confident like being able to get an E later than I am like being able to get like an O, especially if it's in a weird spot.
Yeah. The one that I don't like getting is the U because my brain goes, use the Q. And I was like, it doesn't have to be just because a U is there doesn't mean a Q is automatic, but my brain will not let go.
See, my problem is like if there's no O, but I get just the U right, I'm like, oh, so it's curse. Except the U can be orange in the second spot, and I'm like, no, Josh, stop trying to say it's curse because that's not it.
It's the U is the devil. I think we can agree with that.
Yeah.
My first word, 3 words are altar, mound, and fishy. That covers most of the regular letters. I don't want to do it that way. That's the Declan way. Where you're like, I'll just use these 3 words. All of the letters they use are in there, and then I'll know. I want to be angry at Wordle, and then the only way to do that is one at a time.
I want to be able to snipe Wordle in 2. That's what I love.
Dude, my clutchest Wordle play ever. My first guess was Euler. I sniped idiom on the second guess.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
That's a different word, right?
That's cool.
Wow, hello, what you're talking about.
That's Cole Palmer chili.
There you go. Very nice. So Declan hates oatmeal and plants.
Planes.
Oh, planes.
Oh,
It
but
says plants.
he might also hate plants also.
Well, that's what he meant, like the drugs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
But he also hates planes on that topic.
I know, but I was right, and you corrected me.
And I was wrong.
Right. All right. So Declan hates oatmeal and plants. WTF? I don't know. I don't think he hates oatmeal. He's just mad at oatmeal.
I like oatmeal. A little mad at it, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen you more animated. I teased Josh about marbles yesterday because he overreacted so badly to whatever we were talking about. But you had an out-of-body experience of rage when the oatmeal went into your backpack.
I can't even talk about it. Like I can't even relive it.
You are just so. Where is that backpack now?
Oh, I'm still using it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because maybe if we ever need something for charity or for Josh to pay the rent, maybe we could auction it off because it's a famous backpack now.
How much do you think it would go for? It's like $4.
$11.
I still use it. I was gonna buy a backpack before the show today. Maybe I'll buy it after.
Yeah. You came in yesterday and you didn't say a word. You just sat down and ate. I was like, this is a man who's hungry and doesn't want to talk.
No, I know. I think that's just kind of how it's all business.
Also, if he hated oatmeal, it never would have spilled in his bag in the first place because he wouldn't have had it.
Right. Exactly. He's just angry at oatmeal.
He's just angry.
We have these things.
He's frustrated with oatmeal.
Right. Oatmeal owes him. All right. It's going to be a very, very interesting weekend. There's NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. Elks are playing. We'll be back here, although Declan will be at Vatican City, but we'll think of him on Monday. Who's with us tomorrow or on Monday, Josh? It's you, me, and whom?
Donovan, I imagine.
Okay, so that'll be a derailed show on Monday. Jason Krueger is on the way. Please enjoy your weekend, and thank you so much for tuning into the Lowdown.
The Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. For your next move in the Edmonton or area, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. IHF World Hockey Men's Championship Finals from earlier today was Canada over Slovenia 3-1 and Germany over Hungary 6-2. Right now, Finland over Great Britain 3-0 and Sweden leading Italy 3-0 as well. In the NHL tonight, Vegas and Colorado at 6 p.m. Game 2 of their West Final Series. No Cale Makar for the second straight game for the Avs. In the NBA, we will see Game 3 of the West Finals tip at 6:30 between OKC and San Antonio. J-Dub unlikely to play for Oklahoma City per last reports I saw, and San Antonio's Dylan Harper a game-time decision as well. In the MLB, postponed was the Cardinals and Reds. That was the makeup day will be May 23rd. Scores around the league right now see the Astros lead the Cubs 4-0 in the bottom of the fifth. Jays will be in action as they play host to the Pirates at 5:07. Gosman on the mound for the Jays and Chandler on the mound for the Pirates. Also, Edmonton Elks' first preseason game of the year goes tomorrow at 2 p.m. as they're in Langford taking on the BC Lions. You can watch that one on CFL Plus. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports